kids. Fucking story time with the Angry Quad. The story I'm about to tell is not the first time I ran into this situation, not the second, not the third. And it's got no due respect, or no due disrespect to those that actually offer their fucking time and, you know, their abilities and their care and their assistance and blah, blah, blah. Add fucking adjective here, that's perfectly fine. I want to say to those that actually do reach out to fucking the Gimpazoid community and they want to facilitate certain things and everything else like that, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. In my life, I've done a lot of things. I've been in the ocean, I've been in the mountains, I've fucking been on the beach, I've been in fucking in the woods, I've been in fucking, you know, I've been to the cities, I've been to the suburbs, I've been pretty much fucking everywhere. I haven't been to fucking Cambodia, I'm not looking to go anytime soon. That be said, had a little situation here the other day. It wasn't really a situation, but it was somebody that was being very insistent. I don't know, he wouldn't shut the fuck up if you ask me. However, here's the story. A friend's husband came over. Great guy. I like the guy. Fucking awesome. And we started talking about a couple things. Next thing you know, he was like, they have a cabin up in New York State. I think it's just outside of Pulaski and stuff like that. And supposedly the place is great. Now, fully functional, I would have motherfucking lived at this fucking place. You know, absolutely fucking, he wouldn't even have to be there. You know, he's always doing work on the joint and stuff like that, and I'm like, motherfucker, I would love to come over there and fucking knock the shit out of that place and put it back together, because that's what I fucking do. That be said, he was just like, hey, anytime you want to go up to the cabin, not a problem. We'll get you up there. I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, is it accessible? He goes, I don't give a fuck. He goes, I'll get you into the cabin. I was like, okay. Small cabin, not huge. You know, there's, I mean, I've seen pictures. I've never actually been there, which sort of pisses me off, because they do this thing every year where the salmon run, and they go up fly fishing and shit like that, and it sounds like a fucking blast. I've never been to a salmon run before, I'll say that. I've gone trout fishing, bass fishing, bluefish fishing, fucking flounder fishing, party boats, fucking out, cabin cruisers, speed boats, waters, what the fuck, everything and anything, all sorts of stupid shit. I was always very active and very physical, and that's just the way it was for me. I've always tried to keep myself in decent shape, you know, got a bit of a stomach. Took me 60 fucking years, and I had to break my fucking neck to get it, but I guess I earned this motherfucker. Alright, let's get back to the story. So anyway, yeah, dude, you know, if you want, you know, we'll get you out of there, and, you know, hey, I'll bring you up a couple of the trails, you know, we can go hiking and all the rest of this shit. I'm like, hiking? We're going to go hiking, are we? And he was like, yeah. I was like, how do you suppose we're going to go hiking? He goes, well, you know, I'll just sort of, you know, we'll get to the woods. I was like, woods, wheelchairs. Make that make sense to me, boss. And he goes, nah, don't worry about it. I'll push you around. I was like, dude. And the first time I said it, I was just like, listen, boss, thank you very much. I appreciate the offer. I was just like, but let me explain something to you. I don't mind being all fucked up as long as I don't feel all fucked up. And he was like, nah, dude, it wouldn't be a problem for me and everything. I was just like, no, John, thank you very much. Thank you. I was like, but it would be a problem for me. I'm not putting you out. I'm not fucking gonna put you in a position where you gotta fucking push my fat ass through the woods and whatever the fuck. I was like, dude, there's more to quadriplegia than just the fucking wheelchair. I was just like, you know, if that be the case, and we were going up for the day or something like that, it's a 4.5 hour fucking drive, first and foremost. Which, once again, I have gone places, you know, even in this fucking capacity. Doesn't really make me happy, but I've done it, and I've always done it because it was something I found actually important. Not important for my fucking enjoyment and shit like that, but important to the people that I showed up for. They were like, oh my God. That being said, okay, let's get back to the story. I was like, you know, thank you, but no thank you, dude. It's not exactly my fucking groove in this situation. And again, it wouldn't be a problem for me, man. It'd be great, you know. Well, you know, get out there, you'd be really good. I'm like, no, it'd probably make you feel great. You know, you're fucking helping the fucking little retard go around. Nah, it wouldn't be like that. I was just like, sure it would. Sure it fucking would. And I was like, no, dude. He goes, you just love being in the woods. And I said to him again, I was like, I absolutely love being in the woods. I've been in the fucking woods. But there was actually a trail and shit like that. We zip around from time to time and all the rest of that shit. And once again, he started again. There would be no problem. We could do this. Would be no problem. I'll move you around and do whatever it is. I'm like, dude, you just don't take a fucking gimp and go zipping through the woods. He was like, well, you can get one of those fucking chairs, those off-road chairs. I was like, yeah, sure could. I was just like, other than the fact that I'm not about to spend $5,000 for a fucking afternoon. I'm not about to have, anybody actually have to figure out how to move big fat ass chair from point A to point B. Because you need a truck, a trailer, whatever the fuck it is. So I'm not investing in all that shit. All right, well, maybe they rent them. I was just like, I tell you what, why don't you find out if they rent them? And I'm telling you right now, it's not a fucking truly rentable fucking thing. This is not something that just falls off the fucking tree. There's not a back store of these fucking things. People don't have 4 and they're not fucking interchangeable all the time because Gimpazoids don't typically do this shit. And I loved the fucking offer. I thought it was great. Oh yeah, then I can get you in the boat. Yeah, I can get into a boat. I've been in boats. I've been all over the fucking place. I've been in fucking cruise lines. I've been in airplanes and all the rest of that shit. No problem. And if I do have to get somewhere and I have to go on an airplane and shit like that, okay, bring it on. You know what I mean? I've heard the horror stories. I've heard the good stories and all the rest of that shit. But the thing is, it's not really this convenient fucking thing. And I think I would probably make the best of it, and I'd probably be the best fucking gimp in the air. That being said, let's get back to the story. Once again, he continued. And continued. And continued. And I was like, John, stop. It ain't fucking happening. And I was like, so just cut the shit. And here's the response that I got. What the fuck? I'm just trying to be nice, man. You're just being a fucking asshole. I was like, all right, good night. I'll see you later. Beat it. No problem. Now, you got to understand, this is after I had a gathering here about, 8 or 10 people that I've known for about 45 years. 45 fucking years. And everything was beautiful, and this is how I had to end my night. All right, let's get back into the story again. That's no problem. I'm fine. Did it piss me off? Fuck yeah. I love it when people actually offer things and they have the best of intentions. And they could certainly facilitate whatever it is. And they could talk about that story about how they pushed Sean all around in the woods, all fucking 50 feet, because after that they'd be like, this fucking blows. And I'd be like, you're right. I had a situation where my sister had called me some years ago, maybe a year after my injury. Called me up, spontaneous, totally spontaneous. She asked me, hey, I'm going down the shore. You want to go? I was just like, nah, I'm good. She was just like, she goes, nah, it's not a big deal. I'll come there, I'll pick you up, we'll go down to the beach and shit like that. I was just like, okay, then what? She goes, what do you mean then what? We'll go on the beach and hang out by the ocean. And I was just like, exactly how do you suppose you're going to do any of that? She goes, well, there's things, I would really like to, I think it would be good for you to get out of the house. Now understand something. I've gone to therapy. I just started getting involved in research and shit like that. And I was like, no, that's cool. Thank you very much. And she goes, no, I think it'd be good for you. I was like, Donna, it's fucking 90 degrees out. What do you know about quadriplegia? She goes, well, I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm like, do you have any idea how a quadriplegic processes heat? Do you have any idea what it this, what that, what this, what that? The response was actually sort of funny. No, you've never told me. And I responded to her. I was like, you've never looked into it? She goes, well, no, it doesn't. I was like, oh, it doesn't apply to you, so it's not a problem. Give me a minute, babe. So it doesn't apply to you, so it's not a problem. And you're asking me to pretty much risk my motherfucking life to go with you because you think it would be cool. And it sounds like it would be fucking great. No thought. Another time, Kessler Institute. They were having an outing to go down to the shore. There was going to be about 8 or 10 therapists and about a half a dozen fucking Gimpazoids. They were going to have one of those big chairs with those big squishy wheels and all the rest of that shit. And the one woman I was speaking to was very insistent again. She was just like, it'll be great. Great for you to get out of the house, get down the shore and shit like that. And I was just like this. Really? That would be good. That would be great. I was just like, thinking about, no, I'm good. Now, you know what? You're one of the more positive-minded quadriplegics here. You know, if you go, we can actually get a few volunteers. Or not volunteers, but people that are actually willing. Yeah, volunteers. Fuck it. And I was like, how many people you got going? Well, so far, one. I was like, okay. All right, so you got 10 therapists and you got one gimp going down to the beach. All right, that's your workout. Good for you. She goes, well, no, we want to get at least 6 people to go. I was like, how long have you been trying this for? About a month. I'm like, and you got one volunteer. What was the general response? Well, you know, people are really concerned about this, that, and everything else. And they were just like, you know what, we know what to do and everything else I got and all this stuff. I was like, man, that would be, you know, you guys must love that shit. She goes, oh, it's a fucking ball. We did it last year. We got 2 people to go. You know, we got them out, you know, got them in the chairs, pushed them around on the beach. You know, we actually got them out of their chair. We brought them in the water. You know, it's fine. You know, it's like, you're much more buoyant in the water. I was like, well, yeah, that sort of goes without fucking saying. And as time went on, I could realize that she wasn't going to stop. And I looked at her again and said the same thing. Listen, kid, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't mind being fucked up as long as I don't feel all fucked up. And if you're under the impression that I'm going to fucking take a day to go and make all you little cocksuckers feel good about yourselves, spending your fucking day, spending your time, you know, in pursuit to make the fucking Gimpazoids real fucking happy, get them out of the house, and let them know that there's things that they can do. There's always things we could fucking do. We know that there's things we can do. I do things all the fucking time, constantly, time and time again. I'm doing shit right now, making a fucking video. Point being is, if anybody asks you to do something, that's fine. Say thank you very much. If you decide to take them up on this offer, good for fucking you. I think that's wonderful. You're a great fucking person, and you're fucking, you know what? You know, whatever you got to do, that's fantastic. As for me, when I'm fucking ready to do something, and I want to go somewhere, I'll find the fucking people. I'll find the time. I'll make sure that I work this. I'll choreograph all that shit. No problem. But you motherfuckers that are under the impression you're just going to ask somebody, or almost damn near tell somebody how great it will be, and all the rest of that shit, have no idea what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to fucking Gimpaplegia. Because let me tell you, you know what, in order to actually enjoy something, you have to be under your own fucking time, your own fucking steam, and your own fucking everything. And the fact that somebody else has got to come there and grab you by the dick and drag you around, or whatever the fuck it's going to be, that'll make you feel great. The person you're dealing with, they won't fucking say anything. They'll just sit there feeling like a fucking asshole. That's all, folks. Quick little gimp rant. Yep. I sound ungrateful. Further thing from the truth. Instead, I'm extremely grateful for these offers, but without understanding of the particulars, they're just words. Even with the best of intentions, ignorance of certain needs or conditions can and will end in disaster for all people involved. Plan your spontaneity. Any questions? angryquad@gmail.com